I'm excited about the concentration that we are adding to our seminary curriculum on biblical counseling. As a pastor, counseling is a very important part of the work that we do in trying to help people handle the problems of life. And as a seminary, we believe that the Bible gives us the answers that are important.
So certification is important because we need another level of expertise in order to understand how to help people.
Too often, we've looked for answers apart from God's Word when we need to really be finding them in God's Word.
And that's why we are partnering with the Association of Certified Biblical Counselors. They are an organization that's been around for several decades. They have the expertise that will help us in taking this theological foundation that we have and moving it towards a practical application.
Because counseling really is applied theology. It's taking the truth of God and applying it to life. And that's important for the discipleship of the church, that people will grow in understanding God's will for them. But it's also important in defending the truth of God, because if the things that God says in the Bible don't have the place of authority for us, if we're subjecting them to really rapidly changing theories of mankind, then we're left without a foundation.
And that's why we're training men for ministry, and we're training men and women for discipleship. We have increased our commitment to training for biblical counseling because we want to help you to be able to use the Bible to help people with the problems that they face. We face lots of challenging difficulties throughout our ministry, and sometimes we don't even know where the answers are. And that's why this kind of training, I think, would be really helpful in advancing your ministry to the next level.
So we think this is central to the task of teaching men how to not just proclaim God's Word, but to use God's Word practically and personally to help people.
So we offer two paths that will result in ACBC certification. The first path is a degree path, where seminary students can take an intensive kind of training in biblical counseling and in theology. Seminary students who want to take this path would simply just add on a biblical counseling concentration, and all these classes would be added to their program. The second path is a non-degree path. This non-degree path is designed for pastors in the area, graduates, men and women who are in the local church who want to help other people with the problems that they are facing. This is also good for any current seminary students who don't want to take a concentration in counseling. This is a more streamlined approach to getting the biblical counseling certification, and it will take you through all the basics that you will need in order to be certified with ACBC. At Detroit Baptist Theological Seminary, we believe that having counseling training is vital to your ministry within the church. And biblical counseling is a great way for you to take what you know about the scriptures and to help apply it to your life and then to the lives of the people around you.
I've served as a pastor for almost 32 years, and when I began pastoring, one of the issues that I really wrestled with was how to help people with God's Word. I wish if I could go back and take my seminary training again, that I could have had access to a concentration like this, because I think it would have prepared me better for the work that God has given me to do. So if you're thinking about a life of ministry serving people with God's Word, I'd really urge you to consider taking this concentration as a means to equip yourself for that work.